This is the Patton Sports Videocast with Maurice, Patton, and Terrence Smithson. LT360 is a health and weight loss company based in Brentwood, led by Coach Scott Oatsvall and Brent High. They have helped more than 700 clients in the last year get healthy, lose weight, and feel better with an all-natural program and simple approach to exercise and nutrition. LT360 offers free health and wellness seminars each week. For more information, visit their website at lt360.com or call them at 615-312-8244. Taziki's Mediterranean Cafe, Nashville's answer to fast, friendly, healthy comfort food. With a menu featuring assorted grilled meats, fresh veggies, and a dash of inspiration, Taziki's casual dining is perfect for lunch, before a movie, or a dinner featuring laughter and great memories. Originality is our nationality. With 7 Middle Tennessee locations, one of them is near you. Check www.tazikiscafe.com to select your nearest location and next favorite dish.
Want to play ball at the next level? You got what it takes? Then you got to provide a professional highlight video to coaches. Recruit Reels is the nation's leading sports highlight video production company, and they're here in Tennessee. Starting at just $3.99, Recruit Reels helps student athletes realize their dream and families afford college. Watch highlight videos and review video packages at recruitreels.com. Call them at 615-896-6076.
Want to welcome everyone into the Patton Sports Videocast as we head into Week 6 of the Mid-State High School football season. I'm Maurice Patton here along with Terrence Smithson. We are out here at Stratford High School, as you can tell by all the orange in the backdrop, and they've got a big matchup coming up on Friday night. They've got Marshall County rolling in here in the Battle of Unbeatens, and we're going to get a little bit more into that game here in a little bit. But there's a big game on the other side of Nashville on Friday night as well, and we've spent a lot of time talking about these two teams. We spent a lot of time talking about Region 6-5A, and again, with good reason, because right now you've got 5 playoff caliber teams, 4 spots, and I think this game Friday night is going to go a long way towards deciding at least one of those spots. Cane Ridge undefeated at 5-0 overall, 2-0 in the region. They are ranked number 3 in the state in the Associated Press 5A poll. They're number 6 in Mosey Lead 11. Be sure and check that out on mopattonsports.com, by the way. The Ravens go over to Hillsboro. The Burros 2-3 overall, 1-1 in the region, coming off a tough loss this past weekend to Hendersonville, and Hillsboro's back is to the wall right about now, are they not?
They are. They need a win badly, and if they don't get this one, they may not get in.
Cane Ridge isn't going to cooperate, I don't believe.
No, Cane Ridge has shown that they can play whatever type of game you want. If you want a shootout, they can do that. If you want to make them drive and earn their points, they showed last weekend that they can do that. They even did it against Mount Juliet. So
yeah.
They can do it.
No.
Pick your poison.
Exactly. Cane Ridge, again, 5-0. They won a tough one. I think this game that they won last week was a not just a confidence builder, but possibly a program builder. They were down 10-0 to Beach at half, going into half, I believe. Came back, scored 17 unanswered. Beach puts together a last-minute drive, scores, makes it 17-16. The Buccaneers decide they're going for the whole ball of wax right there on the last play, go for 2. Ravens defense turns them away, 17-16, Cane Ridge the final, on the road.
On the road.
Hey,
Cane Ridge, that's a culture changer around there, because people are not used to them having that type of resiliency. Probably half the fans left the game at halftime thinking it was over.
Well, unfortunately, they've done that before.
I've witnessed it.
But like you said, that's a culture changer right there. I mean, if they weren't playing with some confidence going into that game, you go on the road, you beat a perennial state title contender like a Beach at their place. You hold off a 2-point conversion on the final play when it's do or die to come off with a win. That's huge.
It is huge. They showed that they not only stood up, but played winning football. It was winning time in the fourth quarter, and they won.
Absolutely. Hillsboro, again, 2-3, 1-1, went over to Hendersonville last weekend. They got down 21-0 in the third quarter, and 8 turnovers will get you beat, 28-14 the final, as the Commandos kind of came off the mat. They were 0-2 going into that ball game. That was a team that needed to win, and they got it.
Well, Hillsboro will not be able to make 8 turnovers in this game or they'll get blown out. because they have an explosive offense. They can score from anywhere on the field at any time.
Absolutely. We've talked about DJ Thorpe, the quarterback over at Cane Ridge. We've talked about that two-barreled running game they've got with Jordan Bell and Amari Barton. DJ spreads it around in the passing game, and that defense, again, they stood up all night Friday night, and they stood up on that two-point conversion right there at the end. So you can't count that defense out either.
Can't count that defense out. It's a team game. It takes all facets, all three areas to win: special teams, defense, and offense. And right now they're excelling at all three.
Absolutely. Again, Hillsborough turned it over 8 times in that loss to Hendersonville. Got another big performance out of the quarterback, Tywan Goodner, 385 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, but he also threw 2 touchdowns, 4 picks, 18 of 32. So he's continuing to grow. That was his 3rd start, and they're getting some good things out of him, but they're going to obviously need him to take a little bit better care of the ball.
As he matures, he will get better at taking care of the ball. Even Mr. Thorpe had his issues last week with Hendersonville when they changed the coverage and fronts. Sometimes you get comfortable and you stare down a receiver and safety comes over and picks it off. So as he grows and gets more reps and more games under his belt, he'll get better at that.
When the quarterback is playing well for Hillsborough, things are going to click a lot better for them because they certainly got the pieces around him with the Javante Patton that they can either run the jet or they can run the 9s with him. With the running back Barry Claybrooks, a sophomore who gives them some punch out there. But again, they've got to be able to take care of the ball and keep Cane Ridge off balance defensively.
That's right, and limit the penalties. You've got a young team, they like to commit penalties, and, well, they don't like to, they just do because they're inexperienced. And if they can limit the penalties and take care of the football, they may be able to stay in this game.
Because defensively, you know what they've got on that side of the ball. We've talked about Ben Hutch, one of the top recruits in the area. We've talked about the linebacker John Beats and the young kid Honeysucker and Matthew Jackson, the Eastern Kentucky commitment back there on the back end. They've got some playmakers on that side of the ball, and they're going to have to stand up as well.
Yeah, it's going, like we said, team approach. Takes all aspects of the team to win.
So there's a big one on that side of town we're going to obviously be keeping an eye on. Another Metro game, well, a game involving a Metro team. Liberty out of Jackson comes into town to take on Pearl Cone. Liberty's 4-1. They're ranked number 2 in Class 3A in the AP poll. Pearl Cone's 4-1. They are ranked number 4 in Class 4A, and they're number 9 in Mosey Elite 11. Again, check that out on the website, mopattonsports.com. But we've talked about Tony Brunetti and his scheduling approach. He likes to play tough people early. This is a big challenge for him. They kind of took this one on as a one-off to some degree. Liberty was looking for a game. Pearl Cone was looking for a game because they had played Muscle Shoals out of Alabama last year, but it was a 1-year contract. So they picked this one up, and I imagine right about now he's wondering if he bit off more than he can chew, because this Liberty team is awfully talented. They went 13-1 last year, won their first 13 before they lost to CPA in the state semifinals in 3A. So this is a team that can hurt you.
They can. He's brought in one of the best teams in 3A football, and it's going to be a chore for them, though, going up against Pearl Cone, which is 4A. So it's going to be a challenge for both of them.
Absolutely. Liberty comes in here and they like to run the ball, and when they do it with Christian Ballard, a kid who transferred over there from Chester County, another West Tennessee school, got an offer from Texas San Antonio, which is a Conference USA program, as is MTSU. So this is a kid who can play a little bit, and he's not the only one, but he's probably the biggest name in that Crusader program.
Well, Liberty Tech is a relatively new program, but they put D1 prospects on the field, seem like every year.
So Pearl Cone should have their hands full. We talk about Pearl Cone, and it starts with the sophomore quarterback, Xavier Shepard. He's continuing to progress. Up at Portland last week, 9 of 11 for 124 yards, 3 touchdowns. He also had 3 carries for 56 yards and a touchdown. So he's kind of starting to get a little bit more comfortable, taking more of a active role in the run game for the Firebirds as well. They won that game 49-6 up at Portland. So big win for them as they're continuing to build. They've not lost since that tough 49-7 loss in week 2 against MBA. So again, starting to build some confidence. That front-loaded schedule starting to pay off for them a little bit, but this one's going to be a big challenge for them, obviously.
It's going to be a big challenge for them, but I look for them to step up to the challenge and have a real good football game. I think that's going to be one of the most exciting games in town, other than this one.
Other than this one. Well, and that Cane Ridge-Hillsboro one as well. We're going to talk about a few more here in just a second when we get back. Stay tuned. John Mayer Builders proudly sponsors Mo Patton Sports Videocast. With over 1,500 homes built in Middle Tennessee, John Mayer Builders knows the importance of families and communities. They have numerous business awards to their credit, proving that John Mayer Builders is built to win. Like them on Facebook. John Mayer Builders, our reputation is building.
Express Employment Professionals, North Nashville and downtown, owned by respected business leaders Christy and Jason Patrick, is the premier employment agency in the community. Express is one of the community's largest employers, consistently working over 500 people at over 125 private businesses each week in Davidson County. Whether you are a company looking for the next great employee or a candidate looking for the next great job, Express is the employment resource for you. Call them at 615-313-3690 or visit their website at www.expresspros.com/in-Nashville-TN. Like them on Facebook at Express Employment Professionals, Nashville North and downtown.
Big game going on over at Goodpasture Friday night. And when's the last time you heard that? The Cougars 4-1. Now to set up what I just said, no shots at the Cougars or at Jerry Jocelyn, but fact of the matter is, Goodpasture came into the season on a 21-game losing streak. They lost their season opener to BGA 21-14. They've not lost since. 4-1 now as Lipscomb comes calling. The Mustangs 2-1, and they've had a really odd schedule because they didn't play week 1, so they were going to play 10 straight. Week 2 was the weather weekend, and they played Page. They got a quarter in, I think, and then the Lightning came, and they were going to have to play Saturday. Both schools decided they just wanted to go forward and get ready for their region schedule, so they decided not to make the game up. So Lipscomb's going to wind up playing 9 games, but they're 2-1. They won the next weekend against an interesting and explosive Northwest team, as it turns out. They beat them 10-6. Lost 34-7 over at Overton, and then they turned around last week with a 55-34 win against Creekwood in a region game. So this Lipscomb team is looking to slow Goodpasture down a little bit in the momentum that they've built up to this point.
Well, Lipscomb has that big Oregon commit, Mr. Rutmeyer.
Rutger Rietmeyer.
Rietmeyer.
Yeah, there you go.
He's a load, man. And they're going to have trouble controlling him, I think. And Lipscomb has a tradition that, hey, they win over there.
That 55-34 is a little out of character for them because they don't usually score a whole lot of points, but they did last week, and I'm sure they'll be looking to continue that with the running back William Phillips, who is a good two-way guy for them, plays on the defensive side of the ball as well. They've got some talent, got some young talent, and this Goodpasture team's got 16 seniors, including Jermaine Mason, a kid that we talked about a couple of weeks ago when he had 2 punt returns for touchdowns, one for 71 yards, one for 80 yards in a win over Franklin Road Academy. They turned around this past weekend. They beat Whites Creek 48-30. We talked about this on the podcast earlier in the week. Cameron Tompkins, a kid who splits time between fullback and offensive guard. He liked what he saw against the Cobras Friday night. 11 carries, 101 yards, and 2 touchdowns, one from 53 yards out. So the big guy's got a little speed when he gets out there.
He can tote the mail, but let's not say he's a big guy. He's not overly big. He's, fullback size.
Okay, so he's a fullback playing guard, not a guard playing.
Yeah,
okay, all right.
Yeah, I saw the number. I'm like, why is he 53's running the ball? But he's got speed.
Yeah. And I think they're going to have him, going to have Mason, Cody Crider, who splits time at tailback with Mason. It's going to kind of be all hands on deck because this is a big rivalry, this Goodpasture-Lipscomb matchup, and Goodpasture hasn't won since 2012. So they're looking to get back in the win column and extend this win streak that they've got now to 5. They kind of like this winning thing.
Yeah. When you get a taste of it, you want to continue to do it.
Absolutely, absolutely. So another big game to keep an eye on here on this side of town to some degree. Over at Ryan Friday night, Montgomery Bell Academy goes in and takes on an Irish team in a Division II AA region matchup. MBA coming off a big 42-27 win against McCallie. The Blue Tornado came up here and went back to Chattanooga off a loss. Father Ryan defeated Evangelical Christian School out of Memphis 34-7 this past weekend. So interesting matchup here. That was MBA's first region win, and anytime you talk about MBA, you got to talk about Ty Chandler. 25 carries, 194 yards, 5 touchdowns.
Mr. Chandler's getting it done, but that offensive line's getting it done as well. You got a back picking up 194 yards, and he's averaging 7.5 yards a carry last game. Somebody's blocking.
A lot.
A lot.
A lot. So, of course, on the flip side, he can make an offensive line look pretty dang good too.
Oh,
Dale.
yeah. You like to have a guy like that back there because you don't have to hold your block long.
No,
give him a crease.
No, because he doesn't take long, and he's one cut and gone.
Oh, yeah.
So
you love it. You see the back of him. You say, "Ooh, that's good."
MBA number 6 in the AP Division II poll, number 4 in Mosey lead 11. Again, Ryan coming in, they're 3-2. They've dropped both of their D2 matchups. Lost to Pope John Paul II a couple of weeks ago in the Bishop's Cup matchup. Lost to McCallie 30-7. So the Irish trying to get in the win column here in region play, and they've got a tough one ahead of them to try to do that.
They do, and Father Ryan is one of the biggest private schools, if not the biggest private school in town. And they have a tradition over there winning back in 30 years ago. Mm-hmm. Hadn't done a whole lot here lately, but I'm sure Coach Rector wants to get them back to what they used to be.
Absolutely.
That's why he was brought in there.
That's exactly why he was brought in there, for games like this. And so this is one of those first ones that he was brought in there for, and it'll be interesting to see what they're able to get done at home on Friday night. Another big matchup here in Nashville. Overton goes over to McGavock in a Region 3 6A game. Overton coming in at 3-2 overall, 1-1 in region play. McGavock 1-4. 1-1 in the region. Overton with a big 45-13 win over at Antioch this past weekend.
Antioch. Didn't quite see that one coming, but they played well, and they're going to have another great effort this week in order to beat Overton.
Overton wins that one. The sophomore quarterback, Sam Mast, 10 of 17 for 170 yards, 3 touchdowns. Coming into the season, Mast and Theo Jackson were supposed to kind of split time at quarterback. Mast more of the throwing quarterback, Jackson more of the running quarterback, the UT commitment, who is a defensive back by trade. I think with Mast continuing to progress, they've been able to get Jackson out at receiver more and do a little bit more with him in that aspect of the offense. Meanwhile, leaving the running game to guys like Tavarius Travis and Derek Payne. And they've been really explosive on offense the last few weeks.
Well, with Jackson getting out in space, that's going to really make it tough on the defense. You want to get your playmakers out in space where he can do something with the ball, and that's why the offensive explosion.
Yeah, again, they scored 45 against Antioch, scored 34 against Lipscomb the week before. Franklin held them down in a 28-6 win. They lost to Marshall County, at Marshall County, 33-19, but they opened with a 41-7 win against Stewart's Creek. So they're playing pretty well right now. And again, McGavock coming in at 1-4 overall, 1-1 in the region. They lost a tough one Friday night over at Wilson Central, 48-21, after losing the previous week 50-14 to Cane Ridge. So the Raiders are struggling a little bit.
They are, and I kind of expected that from seeing them in the Jamboree, but can't put a whole lot in Jamborees.
You can't put a whole lot in Jamborees, but unfortunately they've kind of lived up to what you saw. So Tamika's Napier, the sophomore over there, 15 carries, 97 yards, and a pair of touchdowns in that Wilson Central loss. McGavock was down 27-0 before they got on the board, and by that time, it's kind of tough to mount much of a comeback.
Yeah, you get out of the game psychologically and emotionally, it's hard to come back when you get down by a big deficit like that.
Especially on the road.
On the road.
Yeah, but they've got some big playability. Kadarius Johnson, 5 carries, 73 yards, including a 63-yard touchdown. We talked about the quarterback, Jamarius Smith and Cornelius Pirtle earlier in the year. So they've got some guys that can hurt you if the opportunity presents itself.
It all stems from the line play. Hadn't had a real good line play from them on the offensive line or defensive line, so it's kind of hard to win when you lose up front.
Yep. So Overton has to be careful that they're not walking into a buzzsaw over there, but you would kind of expect the Bobcats to continue to take care of business in this one. When we get back, we're going to talk about a little interesting matchup that's going to take place here at Stratford on Friday night. Stay with us. Tzatziki's Mediterranean Cafe, Nashville's answer to fast, friendly, healthy comfort food. With a menu featuring assorted grilled meats, fresh veggies, and a dash of inspiration, Tzatziki's casual dining is perfect for lunch, before a movie, or a dinner featuring laughter and great memories. Originality is our nationality. With 7 Middle Tennessee locations, one of them is near you. Check www.tzatzikiscafe.com to select your nearest location and next favorite dish. At National Playmakers Academy, developing NPA athletes comes in threes. NPA develops its student athletes' academic, social, and football-specific skills. Next, NPA develops them for better exposure today, recruitment tomorrow, and college education through scholarships for the rest of their lives. We are proud of the outstanding athletes we have developed. We are more proud of the college graduates we have prepared. Work with National Playmakers Academy for developing gifted athletes into productive citizens.
Strike and Spare Family Fun Centers combine the best of bowling, games, food, drink, and fun. For all Middle Tennessee residents, Strike and Spare Family Fun Centers are the ideal destination for family entertainment. The safe, friendly environment is perfect for birthday parties for kids of all ages or business outings for adults who work too hard. Our friendly staff and fun atmosphere will help create those enjoyable memories with your coworkers, friends, and loved ones. Don't forget to sign your kids up for our Kids Bowl free summer program. Visit us online at strikeandsparebowling.com or come see us in person at any of our nearby Strike and Spare locations in Donaldson, Hendersonville, Hermitage, Murfreesboro, and the Tusculum area for more details. We'll see you soon.
Okay, so I've got written on the top of my note card here, what happens when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object? Marshall County comes into this ball game averaging 44.6 points a game. Stratford comes in giving up 5.2. So
It's be interesting.
you know, something's got to give.
Something's got to give.
And Marshall County, I saw them last weekend. They beat Giles County 45-10, scored 24 points in the fourth quarter, and to be more specific, they scored 24 points in about 5 minutes because they got a turnover, they got a short field, they held on fourth down, got a short field, and scored off of all of it, and did it in different ways. Cameron Liggett broke a couple of big runs. They made a big throw from Bryce Wallace to Jay Howard. They can hit you from a lot of different angles. Kay McWilliams scored the first touchdown for him on a 12-yard pitch. He's the guy that plays linebacker for him, MTSU commitment, but he can do some damage offensively as well. So they've got a lot of weapons offensively, and Stratford's challenge is to try to offset as many of them as possible.
Yes, it is, and that's going to be a big challenge. Mr. Thomas Tate will have a lot to say about offsetting that, the defensive end / fullback for Stratford. 6 foot, 250-pound junior. Oh, actually, he's a senior.
Oh, okay.
And he blocks. He's a ferocious blocker, and he comes off the edge there, trying to get to the quarterback. And Mr. Bryce Wallace will have his hands full trying to elude him most of the night.
And Bryce doesn't want to get rid of it too quick because Terrell Carter is back there on the other end waiting for him to make a mistake in the passing game.
Right.
So Stratford has some answers defensively. The question is whether they can answer often enough against all of that firepower that Marshall County brings to the table. But Stratford can put some points up as well. They're averaging 40.8 themselves, Josh Trueheart, the quarterback, with a heck of a game last weekend. He threw for about 170, ran for about another 136, 5 total touchdowns, and a big win against White House Heritage. So again, they've got some guys that can put some points up. Terrell Carter, again, the Memphis commit, one of the top cornerbacks in the state. He gets it done on offense as well. And Michael Williams with another big night for him, 9 carries, 74 yards, and a touchdown. So while Stratford's going to have their hands full trying to hold Marshall County's offense down, they can score as well.
They can. And Tavai McLean is going to, for Marshall County, defensive end 6'2", 245, is going to have a big night to stop Stratford.
I think another guy to keep an eye on in Marshall County's defense, for all the other names that you hear, J.Q. Hayslip, number 27. He'll stroke you.
And so Kevon Maxwell, number 2, he plays cornerback, and his run support is tremendous for a guy 5'8", 155 pounds.
He just throws it around,
he
huh?
He comes up there and takes people out.
Marshall County won this game 38-20 last year down in Lewisburg. This is going to be a barn burner. Marshall County is the number 3 team in Class 4A in the Associated Press poll. They're number 5 in Mo's Elite 11. Stratford comes in at number 9 in 3A in the AP poll. So again, this is going to be fun.
With Mr. Jalon Big Freight Gupton, 6'3", 310 pounds, playing offensive guard.
Big Freight?
Big Freight.
I love it. Yeah. I love it.
Yeah. He's going to be opening holes for Mr. Carter and Mr. Williams and blocking for Trueheart. It's going to be whoever can control the line of scrimmage. And both of them have people that can get it done up front.
It's going to be a fun game to watch. So keep an eye on this one. Another one that has the star power to it from a program standpoint, Ensworth goes over to Christ Presbyterian Academy on Friday night. Ensworth coming in at 3-2, CPA's 1-3. You know, the performance on either end hasn't been what we've gotten used to out of those two programs, but still kind of demands your attention.
Everything is cyclical, and right now both programs are somewhat in between what they usually are, but it should be a great matchup. They have great coaches, and you know the kids are going to be well coached, and you'll see plenty of fundamentals, and it's just a matter of who actually limits the mistakes and scores touchdowns.
Absolutely. Ensworth ranked number 7 in the Division II Associated Press poll, and they got Nikki Clifton back this past weekend. They're running back 14 carries, 131 yards, so they feel like offensively they're starting to get into a little bit of a groove. They've got the Louisville commitment back there in the secondary, Rodney Owens. So some talent on that Ensworth sideline. CPA, again, a young squad. We talked about them a little bit prior to that tough loss they took over at Pearl Cone, 41-0. Everything's cyclical. I mean, and right now, the Lions have kind of cycled down, but as Terrence said, they're going to be fundamentally sound. They're going to get those young guys ready, and I would imagine they're still going to be a force to be reckoned with in Class 3A before everything gets over with. LT360 is a health and weight loss company based in Brentwood, led by Coach Scott Oatsvall and Brent High. They have helped more than 700 clients in the last year get healthy, lose weight, and feel better with an all-natural program and simple approach to exercise and nutrition. LT360 offers free health and wellness seminars each week. For more information, visit their website at lt360.com or call them at 615-312-8244. Taziki's Mediterranean Cafe, Nashville's answer to fast, friendly, healthy comfort food. With a menu featuring assorted grilled meats, fresh veggies, and a dash of inspiration, Taziki's casual dining is perfect for lunch, before a movie, or a dinner featuring laughter and great memories. Originality is our nationality. With 7 Middle Tennessee locations, one of them is near you. Check www.tazikiscafe.com to select your nearest location and next favorite dish.
Want to play ball at the next level? You got what it takes? Then you got to provide a professional highlight video to coaches. Recruit Reels is the nation's leading sports highlight video production company, and they're here in Tennessee. Starting at just $3.99, Recruit Reels helps student athletes realize their dream, and families afford college. Watch highlight videos and review video packages at recruitreels.com. Call them at 615-896-6076.
So let's go back. Well, first off, last week, we picked our top 6 games, and somebody went undefeated, and it wasn't me.
That would be me.
That would be you.
You want me to leave town again, huh?
No. So Giles County, Marshall County, we both had the Tigers at home. The Tigers came through with a 45-10 win. Baylor came up to Brentwood Academy last weekend. Brentwood Academy took care of business 35-0. We both had the Eagles in that one. Oakland 38, Blackman nothing. We both took the Patriots. This Stratford team went on the road over to White House Heritage, 156-7. We had the Spartans. Franklin went to Ravenwood, got those seniors' first win with a 21-13 victory. And that Cane Ridge Beach game, that 17-16 Ravens final, I had Beach. I was a 2-point conversion away, which kind of explains the conversation we had on the podcast about going for 2 versus kicking the extra point and going to overtime. But anyway.
Jack Del Rio did it. The Raiders won against the Saints.
Lord. Anyway, we're not going to talk about Jack Del Rio a whole lot. But so Terrence was 6-0 last week. I was 5-1. We're going to take a shot at our pick 6 this week. You can pick with us, #BeatMostradamus on Twitter. These top 6 games, you get more of them right than I do. You go into a drawing for Tzatziki's Mediterranean Cafe gift card. 8 locations across Middle Tennessee. One of them is near you. Cane Ridge, Hillsboro, who you got?
Going with the Ridge. Till somebody beats him, I'm going with Mr. Thorpe, and I think he's going to score plenty of points this week.
Well, I really want to go with Hillsboro, but I think they're so inconsistent offensively in particular right now. I'm going to have to go with Cane Ridge on the road in this one. Liberty comes up to Pearl Cone. Who you got?
My gut tells me Liberty. I would like Pearl to win, but I think Liberty's going to win it.
I'm going with the Firebirds in this one. I like what they've done the last few weeks. I like the diversity in their offense, with Shepard continuing to come on at quarterback. Vaughn and Parker are a couple of game breakers in the run game. I like Pearl Cone in this one. Lipscomb at Goodpasture.
Lipscomb, going with the tradition.
Okay.
I know the Goodpasture's having a great season, broke the streak, but I think they're going to lose this week.
I like Goodpasture in this one. I like them at home. I think they're on a little bit of a roll, and I think they're going to push through with this one, but I think it's going to be a close one. NBA Ryan.
NBA. I think Coach U will have them ready to go, and I think Coach Rector will have something to build from on this after this game.
I like
the culture out there.
I like the Big Red in this one as well. I think stopping Ty Chandler is going to be more of a challenge than Ryan is ready for right now. Overton at McGavick.
Overton. I think they just have too much all over the field for McGavick to win.
I agree with you. I like the Bobcats here. Marshall County and Stratford.
Marshall County. And much as I'd like to see Coach Fitzgerald win, I think Marshall County is going to take advantage of all the people they have up front and the experience and win the game.
I think Marshall County's just got too many weapons offensively. I think that they can hit you from too many different directions, from the quarterback to the 2 all-state caliber receivers they've got in Trey Crutcher and Jay Howard, to that run game with Liggett and McWilliams, and I just like Marshall County in this one. But I do think it's going to be more of a shootout than the defenses would indicate coming in here. I think there's going to be some points scored in this one and some big plays, but I like Marshall County to win it late. So again, #BeatMostradamus. Let's see what y'all think. If you get more of them right than we do, we throw you in a drawing for a Tzatziki's Mediterranean Cafe gift card. Let's see what you got. Hey, be sure and check out Mo's 4 Down territory on MoPattonSports.com and see who's streaking, who's rushing, and who's still unbeaten. Also check out Mo's Elite 11, see who's #1 this week. Again, #BeatMostradamus. Enough said. Check out the Strike and Spare. Say that 3 times fast. The Strike and Spare Coaches Show podcast, where we are scheduled to visit with Cane Ridge coach Eddie Woods heading into that Hillsboro game. And also we're going to catch up with Trey Perry from Mount Juliet. The Golden Bears have Wilson Central as they try to snap the Wildcats' 5-0 start. So catch up with us on that as well. That's Terrence Smithson. I'm Maurice Patton. We'll see you at the ball game.